Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of The Leader's Voice. And the whole idea of The Leader's Voice is to invite professionals from organizations or entrepreneurs who are extremely successful in their field and yet they do it with inner mastery and inner success. The hypothesis that I hold is inner mastery leads to outer success. When you focus on your inner, when you focus on your rhythms, practices, you are able to feel more secure in yourself and therefore be more successful. And today I have our guest with me, Sharad Patil. Sharad, welcome to this show and very
Thank you.
happy to have you here. So, just to read a bit about Sharad so that you all know about him. Sharath is the head HR India for Brinks India Private Limited. He has 25 years of professional HR, admin, and IR experience with the best of Indian and US multinationals. He has worked with companies such as Asian Paints, SL Mining and Industries Limited, MVW India Paperboard Packaging Private Limited, Setco Automotive Limited, to name a few. And presently he's with Brinks. He's based in Mumbai, India. His HR experience spans from HR strategic planning to employee engagement to recruitments, new HR processes and initiatives to OD, change management, performance management, and greenfield project executions. Amazing width of experience, Sharad. His family consists of his wife and two children, and I often hear him talk very fondly about them. He is an avid reader, biker, foodie, and traveler. And just today, he talked about he and his team winning an HR award, an L&D award in the D&I space. So I'm going to invite Sharath into this conversation and I'm going to first ask him to share what was the award. I'm curious to know.
Hi, Deepa. Great to interact with you, and thanks for inviting me on this session of Leaders' Voice. To share about that award, last year we did a great interventions in terms of DEI in our organizations, and first time in the history of Brinks, we crossed 100 plus marks in female hirings at our place.
Okay.
uh, and industry in which we are doing, having a frontline female employees was a great challenge.
Yes.
So almost we crossed 50% mark in terms of hiring our female diversity ratio in last year, and we got participate in gain skill forum, where we participated in the initiative of DNI, where we got award for a DNI interventions of the year, for having a
Lovely.
best practice of hiring a female. And
Lovely.
and second was a learning and development initiative for our frontline staffs, because most of the time when we hear is of a leadership team or the middle managers or managers being, but last year we did a great intervention in terms of supervisory skill development programs for our frontline kind of employees who are the best support to their team leaders. So that interventions brought us a learning and development award uh, of the year for that interventions.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Hearty congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So when I remember I had the interaction, I had the opportunity to interact with you and your team, and I know how inspired your team are under your leadership, and I'm sure you're doing something right, and that's one of the reason that I wanted to invite you on this show because there is this myth saying that when you rise in your career, then the belief is that I need to work more hard for more success, and then all the other things which don't directly contribute to success, I'll do it after I turn 60. But life doesn't work that way. Both go hand in hand. So I want to hear your journey, Sharad, of how your inner and your focusing on inner has led you to the outer success that you are enjoying.
So what you said is rightly that most of the leaders or the people always say that I will work till 60 and then I will cherish. And this brings me to a very, very important. I am also a movie buff, so I will give you one of the famous dialogue from Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, where Katrina Kaif and Ritik Roshan, he was saying that I will retire at the age of 45, and she was saying, dude, how do you know that you are going to live up to
Live.
45?
Yes.
Seize the day, my friend. Today is the day, and do what makes you more happy. So, and second from Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, where Ranbir Kapoor says, 25 pe padhai, 30 pe chokri and naukri, and then all that stuff. And you forget your passion and your things which you want to do it.
Yeah.
So, it's true that we always have that. And then there are n number of movies where they talk of n number of bucket list you prepare. But trust me, my inner journey started almost 10 to 15 years back. Uh, in a corporate world and in corporate ladder, we start growing by shouldering higher and higher responsibilities.
Yeah.
So if you are a HR manager, you start delivering, you become a high potential. Management gives you a lot of responsibilities, and then one plant, two plant, three plants, then you handle pan India operations, and deadlines gets increased, responsibilities get increased, your scope to deliver with the deadlines. Earlier you were only solo individual contributor, then you have a team, then you have a managers, and then you have a cross functional teams where you need to deliver the projects. So what I found is a day comes that you feel very, very stressful and you miss the deadlines. So what I thought that if you don't balance yourself, because external world is going to push you, push you, push you, and you being a hardcore enthusiast or passionate about your work or about your things, you will start taking a stride. A burnout mechanism will happen when you
Yes.
start missing out on your deadlines. It gives you a self frustration. So uh, you can't change external world as per your things. So one of the life changing sessions which I gone through is that you manage self. Everyone is having that 24-hour story. Nobody, that is the best part which hit me a very hard, that be it Deepa, be it Sharad, be it any of the top authorities or the leaders or the individuals in the world, everyone is blessed with 24 hours time. So everyone has done whatever they have achieved in that 24 hours of time spent. So if you are able to manage yourself better, then you can cater to external world or outer world very, very effectively. Your energies has to be positive. Every day you need to be thoughtful what, and your priorities are to be set. So, and then
Yes.
reading books helps you a lot in terms of, most of in today's people, they hear podcast, and with technology you hear. But once you start reading, once you start grasping the know-how and knowledge, it helps you to grow into the ladder. And then not every time you need to react.
Yes.
You have to start responding rather than
Yes.
reacting.
Yes.
There will be a lot of chaos. You need to be calm at that point of time.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and
Yes.
when employees come to you, or leaders come to you, or the business partner comes to you, most of the time, because once you have grown into that higher hierarchy of a ladder, you start talking more because you know the answers. So one of the thing which I felt is listen to them.
Yes.
And one of my ex boss always tell ke, Sharad, the more you grow in a hierarchy, the more you grow, patiently listen to your all employees. And that's the key to success, because
Yeah.
most of the time when you hear them, they only have all solutions for their concerns.
Yes. Very
Just
true.
show them that, and then they will come up with a best solution, which if you would have given him, it's like that opening a shell for a larva and not turning it into a butterfly. So
Yeah.
so this, let them struggle through, you just
Yes.
watch it. If you
Yes.
make the
Yes.
things life easier for them,
Yes.
you are killing that entire process of strength and struggle.
So beautiful, so beautiful. No wonder your team is inspired by you. Yeah, you said very important aspect, Sharad. You talked about um, calm amidst chaos. And this is one aspect where I hear a lot of leaders, especially when I'm coaching leaders, I hear that till the going is easy, the calmness stays, because nothing is rocking your boat. But when there's chaos, what is the first reaction is fear. Fear of job, fear of being ashamed, fear of not being able to handle, fear of, the doubt, all of that creeps in. And from that space, it has eroded your peace of mind. There is no calmness. There is hulchal. There is a lot of restlessness. How do you manage it? And do you have examples to share? Earlier, Sharad was like this, and then after your self work and managing self work, the current Sharad is like this.
So, if I see myself, when I shared with you earlier, 12 or 15 years back when I started my inner journey and the growth. So prior to that, all of us in our life, those who are in a corporate world or even in entrepreneurship business or in any frame of a life, if you see, we start studying at a individual contribution level. So if I put it in our corporate parlance, we are all individual contributors at an initial stage of our career. Then you start growing a ladder and then you become a supervisor. Then you have a one or two members to manage. Then you become a manager. So the best part, those who are the great individual contributors, they are the people who get elevated
Hmm.
typically.
Yes.
So now your individual contribution, you were very great because your all responsibilities were for your own actions and work.
Yeah.
When you go at a supervisory level, you have to do that role, plus you have
Yes.
to manage the role of so in that transition I have seen lot of people fail.
Yeah.
Those who are able to articulate that little bit
Yeah.
better and able to manage, they go into a managerial
Yes.
category,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and from managerial category they grow in an then the growth is very very stringent.
Yes.
Then you only able to grow yourself to a next leap if you have an attitude.
Yes.
So knowledge and skill, like what we say, ask. So
Yeah.
attitude always stays at a higher. So if you see any of the people, be it a arrogant, be it a determined, be it autocratic, be it democratic kind of leadership, but those who are having that set, they start moving higher up in the ladder. And what made you successful in your individual contribution level? You passed first standard in an 100 out of 95 grades, and we most commonly hear from all the mothers that my kid is very very sharp, very very intelligent. When you go and listen in a parent teachers meeting, the higher you go into the hierarchy, when the kids start growing, they start realizing that they are not so great, because they are great but they are still not in the comparison with the others. So when I started doing that, I realized this is not something which you, because you then you start feeling frustrated,
Mm.
because you are able to, and then what you do, either you try and do the work of your subordinate also, and then you start extending your work hours. Then you have a fear of delegating things.
Yeah.
Then you have a fear of trusting your team
Yeah.
members,
Yeah.
because then you are not responsible. Then you become accountable for their actions also. And management or the leaders are going to ask you, it was expected from you that the entire project should get timely completed, and then you can't go back and tell your seniors that my one of the team member has taken a leave, or he was going on that. So that part gave me a lot of insights that you will have a lot of chaos when it will come, and people will always come with a transactional uh, problems. Either it will be a very very transactional problem, or either it will be a people issue.
Yeah.
90% of the time, two colleagues are not getting along with well. Somebody has asked for X data, he is saying he is not delivering me data. Another person, he says, I, whenever he asks me data, I give it immediately. So all the operational part of things creates, and then there is a dichotomy among the team and frictions which leads to entire project delay.
Yeah.
So what I found is, if you have to grow at a higher pitch and understand, you need to start understanding your team members better. You need to start individual interaction, because on a surface what they come and meet you, they are not the real one.
Mhm.
Every individual carry one big facade when they come to a workplace. So
Of
if you
course.
know your team member and what are the touch points, if you touch that point, then they will do anything for you. They will do anything for you.
Correct.
And one of the great inspirational leader of our time from Maharashtra, if I want to say, um, Shrimant Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Raje. So if you go ahead and see, he himself was a great leader and warrior. But if you see the skill sets of his all subedars or all the people,
Mhm.
they were all completely out of, means no human being can be able to deliver at that level.
Mhm.
Be it a Tanaji movie which you see, or
Mhm.
Hambir Rao Mohite, or any of the leaders, the person can drive on an horseback right in those days from Delhi to Pune or Raigad. Overnight journey they can hit from Pune to Delhi, which is completely impossible in today's parlance.
Mhm.
But so such kind of highly skilled, capable talent he was driving. So if he can do that, which is more than that, so you should start handling as a leader, and always try and focus and develop a trust that your team is highly capable and more than what you are thinking. Never ever
Right.
think that you are,
Right.
never ever think
Absolutely.
that you are the best. Your
Yes.
team members are best,
Yes.
because when you instill that trust and faith in them,
Yes.
I have seen team members delivering excellently. And
Yes.
I would say, in today's 25 years of my journey, in last 15 years, I have seen my team members, almost 15 of them are heading HR at peer level to me. Uh, and they have done it in their own way by instilling. And so I say that my seniors, my bosses have groomed me and in right direction. Similarly, it's my responsibility, or it's a what I have received from a society in terms of my colleagues best who have given a best.
Yeah.
I should go ahead and give back to say. So it
Absolutely.
creates a that ripple effect.
Yes, yes, yes. And I can hear so much passion as you're talking about it. And this is one of the reason leader's voice amplifies the voices of people like you. Because what I'm hearing you say is that I am grooming others and I have no fear, I have no insecurity. I want everyone to grow because they're all skilled and capable, just like you gave the example of Shivaji Maharaj. So it's so beautiful that you are living by example because you live with inspiration of such a great leader and you're trying to imbibe that in yourself. Now, inspiration definitely counts, but Sharad, there must be some things that you do rhythmically every day to maintain your thought balance, emotional balance, security, so that when you reach a situation at work or wherever, you are able to bring that pause. So, what are some of the practices that you engage in?
So one of the thing is inherently which I do, sacrosanct, is uh, going back into self cocoon. So when I'm saying self cocoon is your me time, personal
Yeah,
me time.
yeah.
So
Every
so
day?
every day, every single day, you have to give yourself 1 hour of me time. And when I'm saying 1 hour of me time, nobody, not even your family, that is 1 hour dedicated for your own self, for
Yeah.
which you are passionate, for which you want to hear. Every day have that 2 cents of positivity in your thing. So be it meditation, be it dhyan, be it a hearing of podcast, like I said, when the leader's voice which you are putting. So not everywhere you get to have that. You, the best things comes from the most of the common things which are coming. So like I was 2 days back only, I was hearing that and it is from Upanishad. So the gentleman from Upanishad was talking that I have hundred of gurus from a nature and from animal kingdom or from the human beings who are my guru. And that saint himself is said that bee honeybee is my guru. How
Mm.
seamlessly, how smoothly he takes out the nectar from the flower without hurting a flower. So you are taking out the best out of that flower
Wow.
without harming that.
Wow. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it never disturbs anything. Means
Yes,
flowers
yes.
are never, and with that they are grooming,
Yeah.
uh, and she
Wow.
brings all. She is not ever having fear that human beings are depleting or other animals are taking away their honey. Everybody can take the honey
Yeah, there's
which she is
abundance.
there is, but nobody can create a honey because that is her skill set of mastery.
Wow. So beautiful. Yeah.
So and I what I learned is that these are the inherent codes, inherent patience. Like if we talk of patience, which we most of the time as a leader we need to practice. Imagine the kind of patience which Shabri had
Yeah, of course. Waiting for
from
years.
years
I
together.
don't know, eons.
And for that matter Ahilya or other. So you take any of the characteristics or qualities or the epitome of reaching the success. uh, we are so blessed in India that we have every parlance of example right woven in our home
Scriptures.
scriptures.
Yes.
Now the kind of with love and features with which our mom cooks a food for us. You go to a hotel and eat for 10 days in any of the best of restaurants, you will not be satisfied. After 10 days of roaming into a hotel, you come back home and your kids or your husband or you will always ask, mom, please cook a food. We want to cherish the food. So
Right,
it's not
right.
a food,
Right.
it's a love which is being inside. So if you have that passion, if you have that love for your team, that they are not, you don't want to hurt them, you want to take out the best out of them. It gives you a lot of positivity
Yes,
for.
yes, yes. And in your daily reflection, is this what you're reflecting about? Because I hear a lot of contemplation happening.
Yeah, so you need to start contemplating in terms of, means, say for example, once you hear uh, so few days back only I was uh, listening to one of the great philosopher of old time, Mr. Osho. Now Osho is known for all the different, but one of the thing which he said that meditation. So don't force a meditation. You don't go ahead and have a sitting. Okay, 3:30 I wake up, I do brush and that. Meditation is something which is not a forceful. It will come naturally to you. You need to make all things available for that. Be available. Without thought. The meditation will happen in itself.
Yeah,
So
true, true.
you don't have to practice. So, it means, and that moment will give you a very very different feeling. So once you
Yeah.
start practicing a meditation, in a initial it will not be, because remaining without a thought is a ultimate, because
Yeah.
our thoughts are so powerful. Though
Yes,
right now
absolutely.
both of us are interacting right now, but our mind is working 15 folds more time with
So true.
parallel other thoughts.
So true, so true. Absolutely right. Absolutely. And you know, when you're talking about thoughts, what I encounter, and that is because I've left industry about 10 years ago, but I understand the industry through the work that I'm doing in different organizations. One of the things that I am seeing, which I call it a celebrated addiction, is workaholism. I know people say, I am a workaholic. They say it with pride. But being a psychologist, Sharad, I know that workaholism is addiction. And it is because they're experiencing deep void inside and security inside that they're covering it up with work. And a manager would love to have a workaholic because काम हो रहा है, the work gets done. Now, what is it that you observe as happening in either your organization or elsewhere? And what are your thoughts about it?
So, when we talk of workaholics, I would say uh, if you clearly observe any of the workaholic guy, uh, so they are not exactly putting their best. So, go across any of the organizations, you will always find effective teams are delivering in shortest time. Effective teams, efficient teams. I understand work pressure.
Yeah,
Okay, you have multiple priorities that
yeah,
can be
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But workaholic, if somebody is telling I'm working 12 hours or 16 hours and that is a demand of my job, and being a leader, then I would say that you have not relooked from a detached view how you are going to allocate your resources, how you are going to prioritize your works. Because the work balance of that, whenever we have all heard that if you keep on taking work, work is going to be in abundant.
Yeah, correct,
Even if you
correct.
are not
Very
there, that
true.
same work is going to be there.
Correct, correct.
So you need to recharge every
Yes,
single
yes,
day. You need
yes.
to ensure that your teams are, I always say that, go on time. Even if you want to stay back, don't stay back for just loitering around. Invest in yourself. If you want to stay 10 hours, work only for 6 to 7 hours. Invest 3 hours in such a way that that 7 hours work can get compiled in 4 or 5 hours. And that's a real productivity which you will give serving to your organization, which we will be investing for your own self and development. And that's how your growth will come from there.
Yeah,
Your growth is not going to come from 9 to 5.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
9 to 5 you are doing two punch, one lunch, do your activities, uh, have a 5 breaks. So that is not going to happen. In order to have a more work getting done, ideally have a span of 4 to 5 or 6 hours. Invest in your learning and have a detached view of that work. Okay, how am I going to do it better? And most of the time leaders I have seen is that they don't want to give up. They always want to hold up on that position. Okay, I want to have it, lest my next team member will develop and he will come and sit on my position, I'll be redundant. No.
Yeah.
God has given enough of work for every individual every second day. The only thing is how, what you are manifesting and how you are grooming and talenting, you will get more and more
Yeah,
coming.
absolutely. Absolutely. And this means that one has to keep a check on one's own emotions all the time. But if you really ask an employee, how are you feeling? They will not be able to give an emotion word. It'll always be a thought. Because we are asked to keep our emotions at home, and when we come to work, we are supposed to use our head, our brain. What's your thought on how can employees, how can anybody actually who's listening to you, uh, even first acknowledge and know your emotion? Because once you say I am angry, the anger comes down. So how do you acknowledge in your life your own emotions,
So
whatever it is?
one of the key thing which over a period, so now my team knows. So if I am pissed off, so I will say, so I don't speak anything, and the entire team is there, and
You give
somebody
it
has spoken.
time.
So the guy has given something which is not acceptable and some fumble. So I always say, and then I say, okay. So that 4 or 5 pause allows me to respond him rather than reacting him.
Beautiful. There's a Viktor Frankl ka quote, no? Between the stimulus and the response.
So you hold on to that, and that gives you, because suddenly, and on an emails or kind of thing. So what I do is, if there are, you get a lot of, as a part of a leader, and your inbox are completely filled. So you always have inbox which is showing 50 unread. So one of the good thing which I saw and with my seniors or few good leaders is that by the end of the day, their entire inbox is not having a single unread mail. Second, clearing your inboxes, clearing your desk. Uh, so when I started 10 or 15 years back, so most of the stress or emotional outburst comes to you because of pending works,
Mm.
non-deliverables. So any activity, which one of the thing which I realized 10 years back is I will keep my desk zero at the end of the day. And touch wood, in last 10 years, I have never come across a single day where any single bill, any single memo, any single thing is pending at my table.
Wow. It's
So,
so beautiful because anything pending is actually an energy leak. And you are stopping your leak even before it could leak. So you have so much energy and vitality left with you.
so what happens is anything, any point which is coming. So even if it is not in your radar, the ball is never in your court. So it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing which we always call in an tennis or a
Yeah, yeah.
so never keep ball in your court. So shoot the moment ball comes, you shoot it. So you are ready. How you are, and whenever you are shooting ball from your court, you will be always at peace because you are always empty.
Yes.
If you are
Lovely.
having you are having a multiple balls to hit, you may
Lovely.
miss one or two. So
Yes. Yes.
always keep,
Yes.
and then you have a check. Okay, okay, these are the of the late from Atomic Habits, James Clear, or
Yes.
prior
Yes.
to that, every day morning have your check sheets or weekly sheets and then monthly sheets. So in initial days, I still remember 11, 12, 13, 14, or almost 14, 15. I was having a literally diary every day. Morning, what are the tasks which we have planned for? At the end of the day, 15 minutes check, and morning 15 minutes check. That I started my day with these 10 activities. I was able to do in first day only 4 activities. 6 were pending. And then I saw that there are another 6 activities which I did, which I didn't foresee it is coming during the day because suddenly there is a meeting, you are invited. Some MIS report boss has asked you, some colleague is asking for some work and it has taken. So that work you never ever planned in that. So moment you start writing that works, next day you will start coming, and after 1 week when you start analyzing that activity, then you will find that okay, 6 hours of work has gone into these are the PT non value adding activity.
Mm.
So either you create a policy, either you create a system whereby, so every day, say for example, in a typical plant area where initial years of my, so every day you used to open a welfare room in order to issue shoe, biscuit, sweaters, and everything. And then we found that at the end of the week, 6 hours have gone. So rather than that, cultivate an as and when. So you cultivated only 2 hours in a week. So every employee now knows that only 2 hours. So from 6 hours, you brought down to 2 hours. So
Yes.
you actually got 4 hours of productive time.
Lovely. Lovely.
So
Amazing.
that's how once you means once you start realizing that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you get a abundance.
Yeah. 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 Because you're focusing on that. Your energy, where your energy you put, that is going to grow.
So
Beautiful.
and most of the time are the times start utilizing your non-value adding activity time. Like when you are traveling. When you are traveling, most of the time we see movie or we see songs or we hear songs or we do other uh, latest social stuffs. So do that. I'm not saying no. But while you are traveling, have your inbox mail clean. Have your trash clean. Have your recycle bin clean. That way you are free of your storage.
Yeah.
That way you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So these are the small things.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't sit actually for that. So
Yes.
during that non-value adding time, add these
Use
values
it.
and then.
Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. See, your tips are very, very practical. So, we've been in this conversation for about 30 plus minutes now. And before we close, I would like you, Sharad, to share with our audience The two tips that they could use for their inner so that they can be more productive and successful in the outer.
So first thing what I always think is that not every individual have a same level of energies or same level of commitments or same level of passion. uh, First of all, identify yourself. Go your inner self, try and know yourself, because uh, Deepa, Sharad, or any individuals or any philosopher or any motivational speaker or a leader or a guru, they are all the facilitation center.
Mm.
You can tell me that, Sharad, you need to do X, Y, Z activities every day, and then you will be able to reach that. But you know your conditions based. You know, somebody is a very, very hardcore sleepy guy or a lazy guy. He would like to wake up at 10 o'clock. No matter. Now, if I go ahead and put him at 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 5 o'clock, he may do it for, but then his body is not accustomed to that. So over a period, if he is waking up at 10 o'clock, the reason is he might be waking up to 2 o'clock in the night. So having a change of that habit will take a huge time for him.
Very true.
Rather than that, you know yourself what is best for you. And once you start knowing yourself, then you start your inner journey. Because and every individual which I see is like what we meet. So our frequencies meet. We are on the same
Yes.
page of frequencies.
Yes.
Uh, Similar way, every individual also know who are our energy drainers.
Yes.
So if you remain away from your energy drainers, it's the best thing. Like
Yes.
I always tell that in a night, whole day we are tired. Okay, we have worked till night 10 o'clock like anything, and you say I can't even have my dinner. Trust me, at 10:30, your best buddy from college or school just picks up call and says, "Hey Deepa or hey Sharad, can we just go for a party or for the passionate things which we are?" Within 5-10 minutes we will get ready, we will go, we will be there with him or her up to 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the night. We will come at 4 o'clock in the morning, we will sleep for 3 hours, next day morning we are as fresh as we were there. So what is that is changed? 10 o'clock, whole day work, you were able to not even take your meal, and you partied 4 hours with dance and high energy with your best buddy, because he was your energy booster, he
Yeah.
was your energy gainer.
Yeah. 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 My energy booster at that time would have been my bed.
Agreed, agreed.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. You're saying that identify what's your booster, identify what your drainer is. You know yourself, so go as per that. Lovely, lovely.
So
Very true.
this brings me to a very, very important part of, because I am from Gujarat. So the entire year, with all due respect to all of, but the
Navratri.
Navratri. So the females, those who are complaining of all the pains, and not
Yeah,
only
yeah, yeah.
female,
I agree.
males also, those are complaining. They are for 9 days they are dancing like crazily for all 9 nights.
Very true.
Which kind of soul or which kind of energy boosters they are gaining? Uh,
That
so
is true.
it's
That is true. And for everybody, it could be different, For each
yeah,
one, it
yeah.
could be
So
very different.
so
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So you know
Identify.
yourself first. Identify yourself very well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what you're saying is stay in connection with yourself, stay in tune with yourself, identify it, implement it, give that 1 hour me time to yourself and contemplate on things that are important. Uh, from those insights, implement it in your professional life, conserve your energy, increase your productivity. Oh my God, an array of learning that I have had from this conversation. Thank you so much, Sharad. How do you feel as you share all of this with so much passion?
So something which I feel is every day is a seizing kind of thing. Uh, any small activity like preparation for your child's going to a school, or other day when we were talking, the passion with which you were talking of your son going and so. identify that small happiness, because most of the time we think that okay, I will get that big thing and then I'll be happy. Because
Yes.
that small thing
True,
happiness, if
true,
we
true.
add
Yeah.
on that small penny of happiness, it makes you more fulfilled, it makes you more agile, and this agility or things is very contagious,
Correct.
very
And
very
it feels
contagious.
nourished.
True.
Yes, yes. Lovely, lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sharad. And
Equally here.
yeah, once we share this with all of them, we'll tag you. And we hope to meet and speak again in another such series. And yeah, because the world needs to know really who you are and what thoughts you have. I'm sure there's so many more things that you would have to share, but because of time, we are going to stop here. But thank you very much.
Equally, thank you for giving me such an opportunity to share my thoughts on this leader's inner voice. I wish you a great success and
Thank you.
things for your journey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.